Welcome back to the Leadership Help Desk, where we're trying to get closer to purity and leadership, which means we try not to make mistakes. Now, I know everybody's heard of Maslow's hierarchy. We see it in management training, marketing training, every kind of training. But don't go away. This is a concept, unless you've seen a video from my other channel, that you probably have not thought of. For those of you who haven't heard of Maslow, there's this hierarchy of needs, and it's usually in a pyramid. And we start out with psychological needs. People, see, they have different priorities. They start out with psychological needs, like food and water. If you don't have food and water, it's hard to concentrate on other things. So what Maslow is saying, and some people say it's a little flawed, but that's okay, that they start out with psychological needs, food, water, clothes, that's what they need. They're focused on. But once they get past that, then they start to focus on safety needs, such as a house. Like a homeless person needs clothes, but they're homeless. And then once they have clothes and food and water, then they start to worry about a house, security, health, and that kind of thing. So when they get that, then they will move up to belongingness needs, which are connections, friends, and family. And then once they get that taken care of, then they go up to self-esteem needs, which would be respect, self-esteem, whatnot. And then they go up to self-actualization needs. Once you have all of these things covered, then you can really focus on what you want to do in life and trying to be the best you can. It's what I call swimming in life. You really have no worries. And then you have the freedom to become whoever you want to be. So, with that said, here again, this is in management training, marketing training, and it's really workplace psychology and morale at no extra cost, and I'm going to explain that right now. When we apply this Maslow's hierarchy to a business, a workplace morale, employee satisfaction, all of those things, which are very important if we're going to have customer satisfaction and get things done, it would translate to this. Physiological needs would translate into having a salary, so we can afford food and water and clothes. And hopefully that salary will also take care of a house or an apartment or something like that. But then we get to safety needs, which is job security, and belongingness needs, which is a mentor, being part of a team, being included, which a lot of employees don't feel like they're included. Esteem needs, which would be recognition, job well done, getting good at something, right? Your self-esteem. And I even call it being famous. You can even have the best burger maker in the restaurant, and they're the best. They're famous. Don't let anybody do it. John is the best at that. And then when we come to self-actualization needs, it is having potentially the perfect job for you that you just love doing, and it's like playing. So there we go. Now, this is Maslow is free. Employee morale is free. Satisfaction is free. Maslow did not say these are wants. He said these are needs. This is what a person needs to feel complete and whole in life. And if they're spending 8 hours, 12 hours a day at their job, then some of this has got to come from the job. And once we get these taken care of, these needs, then the employee can worry about the job, right? So what we have here is physiological needs is the salary. Does that cost us anything? Yes, that costs us. There's some cash here. Safety needs, job security. Man, for an employer, for a manager, if your employees don't have a sense of job security especially in this job market, they're probably going to go find a place that says you have a secure job, right? So the employer, the manager benefits when a good employee feels like their job is secure. And they need that. They need it. And if they don't get it, then they're going to go find it somewhere else, unless there's just nowhere else to go. So how much does that cost you to have, to give the employee a sense of job security? How much does that cost? Nothing. It's free. Also, if the employee doesn't have job security or a perception of job security, they're probably not going to focus on the job. They're going to focus on getting another job. So it is in your benefit. Who wins? They win and you win, because the employee will stick around. Belongingness needs. Going back to the business side over here, a mentor, a team, and a feeling of inclusion. A lot of employees out there feel alienated. They feel alone. They're not happy. The whole environment, the workplace, is depressing. Morale is down. So how much would it cost you as a manager to get an employee to a state of having belongingness needs satisfied, taken care of? How much would that cost you? Nothing. It's free. What about feeling good about themselves? Being good at something. An employee, gosh, the worst scenario is an employee who knows they can't do the job and there's nobody there to help them. They're not good at anything. That's horrible. They can't focus. They're in fear all the time. Who benefits from an employee who feels good about themselves and is good at something? The employee and the manager. So both benefit. This is all win-win. And guess how much it costs to get somebody to have a sense of self-esteem? Well, it might cost you a little bit in training, but that can be on the job. It can be a few minutes with the manager or the mentor or a coworker during the day. The basic cost is nothing, therefore it is free. Now, when it comes to self-actualization, how much does it cost to get an employee into the perfect job for them? Here again, it's going to be a shift. There might be a little bit of training. There might be a little learning curve in there. But it is possible, not always possible, but it is possible for an employer to find a perfect job for the employee. Once you find that, you make that match, and it could take a while. But if you want to be a truck driver and you're in the warehouse, you're going to need a truck driver anyway. Get the employee into the truck driver. Maybe they kind of like to be out on the road, seeing the scene and kind of being alone. Maybe they're a loner. What about the person who is the people person who's stuck in the accounting office? Maybe you need to get them out to reception or customer service. It's not going to cost you much of anything. At least it's not going to cost you any more than it would cost to have somebody else in that position. So I hope this is meaningful to you. We're trying to get moving towards purity and leadership, where we don't create our own problems. We create a momentum for success. And while everybody, not everybody, but most everybody has seen Maslow somewhere, I'd say 95% of them have not thought of this. This is a new concept for most people. These are needs, and they're free. They can be met for free. This one costs you. Yeah, they got to be able to afford to live. They're dependent, but outside of that, free, 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 free. Why wouldn't somebody not look into providing these needs, not wants, for their employee? It's a win-win situation. The customers win, so it's a win-win-win situation. And it doesn't cost anything, man. If you got bad managers who don't feel like this is important, get rid of them and get somebody who understands, like in our previous video. It's not just about the operation and processes and meeting budget and all of that stuff. It's about meeting the soft needs of people so they can be happier and happy to serve, working towards your mission or vision. So it just makes sense. Stories I hear about managers. I'd love to hear your stories about managers, good and bad. Do they apply this? Are they oblivious? You know? So I hope you like this and it's meaningful. It only takes a few minutes. Hey, go tell somebody, hey, tell the people, we're doing pretty good. It's going to be a good year. Good. Don't worry about your job. Belongingness. How much? It doesn't cost anything. Just go spend 10 minutes with somebody, right? And we're going to cover that in an upcoming video and how easy it is. Doesn't cost anything. Doesn't cost anything. But what's it costing you if you don't do it, right? It's only a few minutes. Come on. So anyway, hope you learned and hope you are more successful thinking about this topic. And I got a ton of concepts. Please subscribe, clickety-click the like, and share this. Share this with your entrepreneur friends. God, it makes such a big difference. Big difference. Share it with the managers that are struggling. Do you think that if a manager followed this little concept, this idea, that their life would be a lot easier? I think it would be. In fact, neglecting all of this is making their work life miserable. And they have turnover. Just imagine. Well, thank you. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you benefited. And we'll see you around. Thanks.